My name is Gaurav, and my position at Anju is I'm the founder. I started my journey of Anju Jewelry way back when I was still a PhD candidate. And whenever I would travel within the US, I would take my bag full of beads and sell it to stores. Um, One of those instances in one of the stores in Atlanta, they could not pay us back. So they offered we take classes in making jewelry. So we would spend all our weekends, every single weekend, traveling to craft shows all over the country and sell jewelry. And this is back in 2005 when we started our wholesale business. And then I moved back to India to find these artisan groups. So one of the first artisan groups I met was in the streets of Moradabad. It's very hard to reach, but my sister had some connections, so we were able to find this artisan group. They had been making jewelry from metals for 25 years or more, and they just did not have enough work. And they were hugely surprised when we placed the order and we said we want you to make as much as possible. And that was kind of a big turning point, because from there we were able to, in a couple of years, we were able to grow the business to the point where we were in major rep groups. We were selling nationwide, and now we have our products in over 4,000 stores. I think the jewelry itself is very different. Not a lot of artisans, not a lot of businesses that are in jewelry, fashion jewelry business, are sourcing anything from India. The fact that I'm connected to India, I'm able to go there so many times a year and work with artisan groups and come up with some unique jewelry that makes us different. I can say our jewelry is eco-friendly because we are not using any synthetic materials. As much as possible, our jewelry is recycled materials. So the brass we are using, the fabrics we are using, is all recycled. And then the metals we are using or the stones we are using are all natural. How important it is for us to take care of our artisans? I think it's really important. Ever since I've started working with any of our artisan groups, we haven't abandoned them. They're still with us. And whenever I go to India, whenever I have a chance, I go visit the artisan groups. I personally know most of the workers, and as I grow, every time I visit, I get to know more and more of them. And I just want to make sure that they are happy, their needs are met, they're satisfied, and we're doing everything to make sure we get enough business for them so they don't have to uh, lay off any workers, or they can continue to grow and sustain their livelihood. And I always tell them that no matter what, we will give you enough work for them to continue their new way of life. From my perspective, I think India is a very diverse. It's so diverse, but it can be overwhelming. I think it's a sensory overload. I think that's the best word to describe your experience in India. At the same time, I think it's incredible. I think it's just so much going on. It's just an incredible sea of humanity. It's just so many people, so many stories. For somebody from the West, you can imagine just all of a sudden you're driving and your car is stopped because there's a cattle in the middle of the road, and you have to stop and swing around, and nobody seems to be bothered by it. That's also interesting. And when I go back to India, I notice how people are generally calm, even though everybody's rushed, everybody's trying to hustle. At the same time, they're chill. They're chill about the fact that they have to wait few more minutes. And there's people have time for family. I think a lot more than what I see here. People spend all the time visiting relatives, a lot more. If somebody has to go to the hospital for a day for anything small, you will have like 50 family members come and see them. That's typical. How's the culture at Anju Jewelry? Well, I want to say it's very relaxed. even though we work, everybody works really hard, but at the same time, I don't want to create a pressure situation. So I want everybody to relax, and I think when people are relaxed, they can perform better.